Hey everyone, my name is Riley, and in this video, I will be showing you step by step how to create a car dealership website. The website is based on a luxurious and minimalist design with a title and subheading in this top section right here. Your customers will then be able to scroll down and shop by any brand that they like with all of the car brands that you are listing on your website listed right here. These are all clickable. For example, if your customers want to shop for specifically Mercedes, they can click into the Mercedes button right here. And this is going to take them over to the Mercedes page where it shows all of the Mercedes that you have listed on your website. Scrolling down, we then have a section that explains about the showroom and the stock, and your customers will be able to click into this search stock button and be taken over to the stock page where they can see all of the cars listed on your website. You can filter any of these sections right here. For example, if I want to view any cars that are under 20,000 miles, we can click on filter, and that is going to filter cars to only show the cars that we have on the website that have under 20,000 miles. We can also filter by price. For example, I can move this down to under, let's say, 66,000, then click on filter. And this is going to show only cars that are priced under 66,000. You can also filter by fuel type, transmission, color, condition, engine size, and registration year, and any other attributes that you want to add in here and allow people to filter by. You will also be able to do that, and I will show you exactly how we can do this. Scrolling back up to this top menu, your customers will be able to view all of the stock that you have in. Click on this About Us page to learn more about your company, and go to this contact page to get in contact by filling out this contact form. I will be taking you through every step of the process click by click, so even if you are brand new to building websites and you have never built a website before, all you have to do is follow along with this tutorial and you will walk away from this video with a beautiful car dealership website. With that intro out of the way, let's jump right into the tutorial. Okay, so the first thing that we will need is we need to go ahead and grab hosting. Now, to get hosting, we want to use Hostinger. This is one of the best hosting providers on the market right now because it is super fast and super affordable. And if you use the first link down in the description, you can claim a nice little discount. So once you have clicked on that link, if we just click on claim deal right here, that is going to take us down where we can select between the premium, the business, and the cloud startup plans. Now, from all of these packages, I would recommend the business, and this is what I use for all of the websites that I create. As you can see, we have a massive performance increase here, up to 5 times as fast. And we also get these daily backups, which I cannot tell you how many times this has completely saved me when I have made a mistake on my website or I have installed a plugin that has ruined everything. And I've managed to save it with one of these daily backups. So we want to go for the business. If you are on a super tight budget, then you absolutely can go with premium. It is still a valid option. However, I just recommend the business plan. The cloud startup is a little bit overkill when we are just creating one website. You do get a performance boost up to 10x, but from the websites that I have created, this 5x is enough. So we just want to go ahead here and click add to cart. And this is going to take us through to this next screen where it asks us to choose a period. Now, by default, it will select 48 months. Now, this is the most cost effective if you know for a fact that you will be using your website for the next 4 years. However, for most people watching this, that's probably not something that you will want to go with. So I just recommend the 12-month plan right here. You can see a massive price difference right here. And we also get this free domain. So if we go here, we can see that with the 1-month plan, we pay $14.99. This is probably somewhere closer to $16 US, but we would also have to buy a professional domain. Now, a domain is going to cost you usually around an additional $15. So we are going to pay around $30 to $35 for just 1 month. Whereas if we go with the yearly plan right here, you can see it is more expensive up here at $64 in total. However, you also get a free domain applied in this, and you get this for 12 months. So it is just a much more cost-effective option to go with this 12-month plan right here. So once your plan has been selected, we can go down and right here where it says create your account, just enter in the email address that you would like to create your account with, and then create your account password. You can do this option, or we can also go ahead and create your account with Google or Facebook if that is something you would rather do. Once you have entered your information in right here, we can scroll down to select payment, and you can choose to either pay with your credit card, PayPal, Google Pay, or this is cryptocurrency right here. You can pay with any of these options, and then you can go ahead and fill out this information, secure the payment, and grab your hosting. I'm going to go ahead and do this right now. This is then going to redirect us to the control panel, so it may take a few seconds here. And just like that, it's going to load in. So from here, just click on Start Now, and then it's going to ask who are you creating the website for. So you can choose whether you are creating this website for yourself, which I'm assuming you are, but you can also choose if you are creating it for somebody else. So I'm just going to say I'm creating this for myself, and then we want to choose here, I'm building it myself. It's then going to ask what type of website do you want to build? And of course, we are going to click on portfolio. And then it's going to say, do you need help building your website? So right here, just click on no thanks, I know what I'm doing, as you will be able to follow this tutorial. This next screen is going to ask us if we want to create or migrate a website. Now, website migration is if you have a website with another hosting provider that you want to transfer over to Hostinger. This is not what we are doing. Of course, we are creating a new website. So let's go ahead and click into this. Next, it's going to ask if we want to build the website with the Hostinger AI or WordPress. Now, I've used this in the past and it's not the best website builder. So of course, we are going to go with WordPress right here. Let's go for select. And now it's going to ask us to create login details for WordPress. So at the top here, just select the language. Usually it will be auto-selected. Then the administrator email is automatically going to be selected as the email you created your Hostinger account with. So once again, we just want to leave this as it is. And then we can go ahead and create our administrator password for WordPress. Once that has been entered, we can click on continue right here. And it's going to ask us if we want to add any of these plugins. Now, I do not recommend adding any of these. It's like when you get a new phone or a new laptop or computer and it comes with a bunch of pre-installed apps that you don't really want. Effectively, these plugins will pay Hostinger to automatically put them in. However, having all of these just slows down the website, and the majority of these we don't need. So for these plugins, just click on skip. I will manage plugins later. And it's now going to ask us which template we want to use. So on this screen, just click skip. I don't need a template here at the bottom. It's then going to ask to automate text creation with AI. Once again, we will sort out all of the content creation and everything that we need when we can actually see the website and we can see what we are doing. So let's click on skip. I will write content later. And right here, we now get to name the website. So if you went with the yearly plan, which I recommended, we can now go ahead and claim a free domain. So right here, we want to click on select. And under here, we can choose a desired domain. Now, if you went with the monthly plan, you can also go ahead and buy a domain here. But let's go ahead and claim a free domain. Now, before we even enter the name of the domain, if we go to the end here, we can choose what kind of domain this is. Now, the only type of domain that we want here is a .com domain. So click this drop-down menu and then select .com right here. I'm just going to call this GeForce North, and we can see this domain is available. So once you have found your domain, just click on continue right here. And then it's going to ask for a few more details. So we just enter in the country, whether this is personal or company. It doesn't really matter what you select here. Then we can click next step. And then it's just going to ask for some contact details. Once this is entered, we can click on finish registration, and that is going to connect the domain to your website. And as you can see, this is now going to register that domain. We are going to get final confirmation right here with your domain. So just make sure this is correct and it has the .com domain, and then click on finish setup. It's then going to initialize setup. So once again, this may take a few seconds. And just like that, it says, well done, you are ready. So we can now either go to the control panel or edit the website with WordPress. Now, the first thing that we want to do is just go to the control panel. There is a few settings that we need to tweak here. So just go into manage site. And then the first thing that we need to do is just make sure that we have SSL protection. Now, SSL, if I go up here, is, as you can see, the connection for Hostinger is secure, and this is the SSL certificate right here. Now, what this means is if you do not have SSL certificate on your own website, when people try to access your website, it's going to give them a message that looks like this. So it is super important that we make sure this is on. Now, all Hostinger domains and hosting comes with free SSL. We just need to make sure this is enabled. So go over to security on this left-hand side, and then down here to SSL. As you can see, we have lifetime SSL and the status is active. If for whatever reason it's not active, you can click on these three dots and then just go ahead and activate it over here. Once we have checked SSL and made sure that is turned on and secured, the next thing that we need to do is verify the email for your domain. So if we just go back to the main dashboard right here on the left-hand side, you can see that the domain is active right now. However, if we click into manage right here, you can see it says your domain is pending verification. So if you just go over to the email that you signed up for Hostinger with, you should have an email that looks just like this. So all we need to do is click on this link right here. Go ahead and open that up. And then as you can see, the email address has been verified successfully. So if we now close both of these down and hit refresh, you can see the email verification status is now verified, and we now have the email good to go. So if we now go back over to the main Hostinger dashboard right here, and then as you can see at the top, we have the admin panel for WordPress. So we just want to go ahead and click into this, and this is now going to take us over to the WordPress admin area. We will want to navigate back to this admin area quite a lot. And rather than going all the way through Hostinger and doing the method that I just showed you, there is a much easier way to do this. So if we just go to this search bar at the top, we want to go to right here where it says WordPress admin and delete everything after this slash. So it should just be your domain / WordPress admin and then another slash. Hit enter. And this is going to once again take us over to this admin dashboard. So all we are going to do is click on these three dots in the top right corner. And then we want to go ahead and bookmark this bar just so that we can get back to this much easier at any time. So we want to bookmark this tab and just call this dashboard and then bookmark this. And this just means that it's now much easier to get back to this admin dashboard at any time. So if you have followed along, you should now have your hosting. We are now on WordPress and we have this WordPress dashboard saved as a bookmark so that we can get back to this in just one click. The next thing that we need to do is install the 2 plugins that we need to create this website. These plugins are almost like the backbone of the entire website, so super important that we go ahead and get these installed before we do anything else. So to go ahead and install these plugins, we want to go over to this left-hand menu of WordPress, open up plugins right here, just go ahead and hover your mouse over this. And then from this option that loads up, we have installed plugins and add new plugin. Just go ahead and click into add new plugin. And this is going to take us over to the WordPress plugins area. The first plugin that we need to install is called Starter Templates. So just go up to this search box in the top right corner, and in here search for Starter Templates, just like this. Once you have searched for Starter Templates should pop up right here. It is this one. This is the logo, and it is by Brainstorm Force. So just click on Install Now in Starter Templates, and that is going to go ahead and install. From here, it says Activate, but we do not want to click this yet, as that is going to take us straight into Starter Templates. Before we go in and start designing the template, we first of all need to go ahead and install the second plugin that we need. This plugin is called Wordpress. So once again, go up to this search bar in the top right corner, and this time we are going to search for Wordpress. Once Wordpress has been searched, this is the one that we need right here, Wordpress Business Directory and Classified Ads WordPress plugin by Wordpress. So just go ahead and click on Install Now. And with this, we are actually going to go ahead and activate this plugin. Once you click on Activate, it is going to take you over to the WordPress plugins area, where we can see all of the plugins that we currently have on the website. So you can see we should have Wordpress, Hostinger, and Hostinger AI Assistant. And then beneath this, we have Starter Templates, which is the other plugin that we just installed. And right here, this is where we are going to go ahead and activate this plugin. So click on Activate. That is going to activate the Starter Templates plugin. And this is going to take us through to Starter Templates. So from here, we are now going to go ahead and design the homepage of the website. Just click on Classic Starter Templates, click on Build with Template, and then it's going to ask us to select a page builder. We have three options. We have Block Editor, Elementor, and Beaver Builder. So select Elementor, as this is by far the best template editor, and it's going to make things so much easier further down the line. From here, it's going to take us through to this screen where we can choose from all of these different templates. Now, the template that we are specifically going to be using in this video is a limousine rental template. So just go to this search bar at the top and we can type in limo. And then once we type in limo, you can see this one right here, limousine rental agency. This is the template that we are going to be using for the website. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but this template doesn't look anything like a car dealership website. And right now it doesn't. We are only going to be using this as a foundation, an initial building block for the website, and we are going to be making a lot of changes to this. So just click into the limousine rental agency template right here, and this is going to take us through to this section. In here, it's first of all going to ask for a logo. However, we will do this at the end when we know exactly what the website will look like. We will create a logo then. If we create a logo now, then chances are we will get the colors wrong, and then we will have to go ahead and edit that logo at the end anyway. So it's just easier to skip and continue for now. And it's then going to ask us if we would like to change the colors and font. So by default, we can see we have this gold color palette. However, we can also go ahead and change this to any color that you like. So maybe you like this red color right here. You can keep this selected. However, I'm going to keep this with this nice gold and black design. We can also change the fonts from this selection of fonts at the bottom. So once again, you can click through, see which font you prefer. However, I like the default font once again, so I'm going to keep the default colors and default font. And once you have made those selections, just go ahead and click on continue. It's then going to say, okay, one last step, and ask for some information right here. You do not have to enter anything. I never do when I am creating a website. So all I do is uncheck this share non-sensitive data. There's just no reason to be sharing this with starter templates. And then we can click submit and build my website. Now this is usually going to take about 20 to 30 seconds, so you can kick back for a few seconds while this goes ahead and builds the site. After a few seconds, it should give you this message that says, congratulations, your website is ready. So now all we have to do is click on view your website, and this is going to take us through to the website section, and we can now see this template has been fully installed. Once again, right now, this is clearly a limousine website. So what we are now going to do is go into Elementor and start making some changes to this website and customizing this home screen. To do this, all we are going to do is go up to this bar along the top and click into this option that says Edit with Elementor. This is going to take us into the Elementor editor, so we can exit out of this notification that it gives us right here. Just click on this X button, and right here, this is the Elementor editor. Now, before we go in and we start making a bunch of changes to this, I quickly want to run through the Elementor editor, give you the basics, the brass tacks, so that when we go through and start making changes, you already have a basic knowledge of how this works, and you aren't just clicking around and thinking, hey, what am I doing here? So in Elementor, in this middle section right here, you can see this is a live preview of how the website is going to look. On the left-hand side, this is the main Elementor editor, where we can drag and drop different elements into our website. For example, I can drag this heading right here. You can't see it very well because the text is black, but that is how you can drag and drop elements from this left-hand side. If we click into different elements, you will see that we can edit this on this left-hand control panel. For example, we can change the title right here. So I can say GeForce Cars. So you can see that has changed, but I will go ahead and change this back for now until we actually get into the editing. You can also change the style, like the text color. If we go down to typography, we can click into this pencil icon, and this gives us a lot of different settings that we can change with each element. To get back to the main control panel over here, we just click on this box in the top corner, and that is going to take us back to the main Elementor editor. Over on this right hand side, you can see the website is made up of all of these different containers. If I select this top container, we can see everything that is inside of this container highlighted between these two pink lines. So this entire box between all of these pink lines is this top container. If I select the second container, we can see this is everything between these pink lines, the third container between these pink lines, and so on and so forth. Now, if you open up each of these containers, you can see all of the individual elements that make up this container. Now, we are not going to dive into this because this is just super confusing, and there's no reason to make this confusing. This is just the layout of the website. You barely need to know this because for the majority of building this website, all we are going to be doing is clicking into elements and then changing them over on this left-hand side. So that is exactly what we will do right now. The first thing that we are going to do on this website is click into this gold text right here. And then on the left-hand side, we want to highlight and delete this, and then change this to the name of your company. So I'm going to call this GeForce Cars, just like that. If this fits on 2 lines, then perfect. However, if your company name is a little bit longer, if I call this GeForce Cars Dealership, like this, we can see this takes up way too much space and looks super unprofessional on all of these lines. If this is the case, then all you need to do is go over to Style on this left-hand side, click into the typography option right here, this little pencil icon, and then under the size, just go ahead and change this so it's taking up 2 lines. Now, if this text is overlapping, that is absolutely fine. There's no reason to change this, and this is actually kind of the look that we are going for. So I'm just going to actually go ahead and change this back. Fantastic segue here. If you make a mistake on your website and you want to go back to a previous point, all we have to do is go down to this history button right here, and then you can see all of the changes that you have made on your website. So I can click back in time and go just back to where this said GeForce Cars right here. And that was 5 edits ago. So I just go back to here, click on update to make sure I have saved the changes. And then all I'm going to do is click on this square to get back to the main Elementor editor. Once you have your title in here, we can then click on this white text. And then once again on the left hand side, we want to go ahead and enter a subheading into here. So I'm just going to delete this and then say something like an award-winning dealer that you can trust. There we go. Just make sure this is nice, short, and snappy. You don't want something that goes all the way down here. Just a quick sentence subheading. Once that is selected, we then want to go ahead and change this big background image. Right now, this is a guy on a phone, not really anything to do with a car garage. So to change this background image, go over to the navigator on this right-hand side. And then with this container at the top, we can see because we have been making changes, this is automatically going to open into all of these different elements. So just click on this very top container. The arrow should be pointing down. Click into this, and this is going to close that container down so that we can no longer see all of those elements. Once that is done, click into the top container, and that is going to highlight this container. From here, we want to go over to the left-hand menu, click into Style, and then you can see the background image will be shown right here. So we want to replace this. Click on Choose Image right here, and then we can upload the image that we want to add to this website. Just go to Upload Files here at the top. Then we can click into Select Files. And then I'm going to go ahead and upload this image right here. Click on Open. Upload the image that you want to have in this top section, and then click on Select. And just like that, this top section is going to change. So this top section is now done. Make sure to go down and click on Update to update the website and make all of your changes saved. If you want to see how your website looks when we are not in this editor, how this is going to look for people viewing your website, just click on this eye icon right here, and that is going to open up a new tab and show you how your website is going to look when people come along and view this. Just keep in mind that this section at the top is not going to be there. The only reason that it is there right now is because we are logged into WordPress. So when people visit your site, that won't be there, and they will just see everything right here. So now we've viewed this, let's close this tab back down and get back into the editor. So as I say, this top section is now done. Let's scroll down, and in here, this is where we are going to add all of the different brands so that people can come in here and they can search exactly what brand they want to buy. So in here, we want to go ahead and click on this second container, as this is the one we are now editing. Once this container is highlighted, the first thing that we want to do is delete this top section. So to do this, click into where it says Our Fleet right here, and then over on the left-hand side, it's going to open up all of these different elements. So all we are going to do is click on the container elements right here until this section that we want to delete is highlighted with this gray box. Once you see this gray box highlighting this section right here, the one that we want to delete, just go ahead and right click on that container and then click on delete right here. That is then going to delete that section. And now we want to replace this with a regular heading. So go over to the Elementor menu on the left-hand side. If you don't see all of these tools right here, just click on this box in the top corner and all of these tools will load in. We then want to grab the heading, just click and drag this in, and drag this above where it shows the cars. We also have this gray divider in the middle, so we want to make sure we are putting this heading above this gray divider. Make sure it's not underneath, like here. We want it above this divider, and then drop the heading in. Right now, you will not be able to see this because the text is black and so is the background, but that doesn't matter for now. All we are going to do is go over here to the title on the left-hand side and go into this box and change this to say shop by brand, just like that. Once this says shop by brand, we can then go over to the style element right here, go down to the text color, and we want to change this to the same gold color as the rest of the website. The easiest way to do this is to install this extension called Eyedropper. It is a completely free tool, and I will leave the extension link down in the description. So just go ahead and install the Eyedropper tool onto whichever browser you are using. Once you have the Eyedropper tool selected, go into the extensions bar using this puzzle icon and click on this pin next to the Eyedropper tool. That will bring the Eyedropper tool into the bookmarks bar. So now all we have to do is click on the Eyedropper tool, click on pick color from website, and then once you have this selected, we can go ahead and just zoom in and select this gold color. Just like that, this Eyedropper tool should now show this gold color. So we just click on the Eyedropper tool once again and copy the hex code that it shows right here. It should show a number along the top. So just go ahead and copy that. And then on this left-hand side in the text color, we can now click into this and change this to the gold color by pasting this in. So this should now say shop by brand in this gold color. We have this divider underneath. And then the next section that we are going to edit is we want to delete these cars right here. So to do this, just click on one of these cars. That will open up this big section on the left-hand side. So once again, just click through these containers until this gray box has all of these three cars. Right here, we can see this big gray box containing all of these cars. So right here, we can go to this container, right click, and then click on delete. That is then going to delete that section. So what we are now going to do is go to the left-hand side and scroll all the way down to the bottom until you see this Wordpress section. If you remember, Wordpress is one of the plugins that we installed earlier. And in here, we want to grab the listings category. So drag and drop the listings category into this section right here underneath this divider. And right here, it's going to drop in this gray line. The reason that nothing comes in here is because we have not yet set up the brands that we are going to be using. So don't worry about that now. We will create these brands after we have finished designing the homepage. So right now it should just say shop by brand. We should have this divider and then this gray line underneath. And where this gray line is, this is effectively going to populate later and shows all of the different brands that people can select from when we actually go ahead and create these. So right now, just leave this section as it is, and then we can scroll down to this About Us section. We are going to replace this, so we are going to stop this from being an About Us section, and we are going to have this to say the showroom, and this button is going to be clickable, and when people click this, this will take them through to the stock page and show them all of the different cars that we have listed on the website. So we are going to go up to this About Us right here, click into About Us, and then over on this left-hand side in the title section, delete About Us and change this to showroom. Just like that. We then want to click on this text that says make sure that your every trip is comfortable. Once again on this left-hand side, highlight and delete. And then in here, we want to say our stock. Just like that. So we now have showroom, our stock. We can then click on this piece of text right here. And then once again, on the left-hand side, we want to delete this and have a little summary about our stock. So in here, I'm just going to type out a quick little summary of the showroom. Feel free to pause this. You can either swipe this text exactly and have this on your website, or you can play around with this and come up with something of your own. Once we have this text all set up, we also have this generic image that is here by default. So what we are going to do is to change this image, because right now, I guess you could leave this. However, I prefer to change this to something that more shows a showroom. So to actually change this, all we want to do is click on the right-hand side of the image. If you try to click on the left-hand side, it's usually just going to highlight this text. However, if we click on the right-hand side of this image, we can see on the left-hand side, we see choose image, and then we can go ahead and select the image right here. So once again, we just want to click on choose image. And then super important here is we need the dimensions of this image. If you just go ahead and upload a random image that you have on your computer, then what it's going to do is this is going to look completely distorted. The image will be hanging over the text. So we need to make sure that we have an image that is these exact dimensions, 1740 by 850 pixels. The way that we do this is we want to go over to this website called Canva. Now, we will be using this tool a lot in this video to create logos, to create all of our images, make sure the images are the same size. And to make this easier and much more efficient, I recommend that you have Canva Pro. Now, I think Canva Pro is usually around $15 per month. However, if you use the Canva link down in the description, you will be able to set up a free 30-day trial of Canva Pro. So you can create all of the images that you need and then cancel at the end, and you will never be charged. So once you have clicked on that link and you have signed up to Canva Pro, all we are going to do is click on create a design in this top right corner. From this menu that opens up, click into custom size, and then it's going to ask for the width and height. So let's go back here. This was 1740 by 850. So for the width, we type in 714. I think I said 1740 or something. No, 714 by 850. So 714 width and then 850 height. And then once that is entered, of course, make sure this is pixels. Click on create new design. This is going to take us over to the Canva editor right here. And as you can see, we now have a blank template that is 714 by 850 pixels. So all we need to do now is upload the image that we would like to have here on the website. To do this, click into this upload section on the left-hand side of Canva, then click on upload files, and you can choose the image that we would like to add here. I'm going to go for this image right here. So once the image that you would like to add has loaded in, just click on this and this will be dropped in to the main Canva template. As you can see, right now this image is landscape, but this is more portrait. So all we need to do is drag this in and drag this around on Canva to make this fit the exact image that we need. So I'm going to actually extend this a little bit further to get the car more central. Just like that. And as you can see, I just took that landscape image and I now have it in the exact frame size that we need for this website. Once your image is the correct dimensions and you have this filling up this entire image right here, we can then click on share in the top right corner, go down to this download button right here, and then download this image. Once that image has downloaded, we can now go back over to the website. Once again, go into choose image right here, upload files from this insert media section, and then we can select the file that we just created. I have mine right here called Untitled Design, so I can drag this in, wait till this fully loads in, then click on select, and just like that, I now have this image that is on my website. Once we have this image in here, you will notice that this button says read more. So we need to go in and change this. So just click on this button. And then on this left-hand side, we can see under text, it says read more. We want to go ahead and change this to say search stock, just like that. And it's going to ask for a link here. So right now, the way that we have this set up, if people click this link, it's not going to take them anywhere because we do not have this link button set up. We will change this later on. However, the reason that we are not linking this to anything right now is because we don't have the stock page where people can see all of the cars. We just don't have that set up yet. So once again, when we create the brands and add them in here, we will come back and add a link in here so that when people click on this button, they will be taken through to the stock area and they can see all of the listings that you have on your website. So this section is now done. We can click on update, make sure all of these changes are saved. And then let's scroll down. This next section is all services, showing all of the services that this limousine company offers. However, because we are a car dealership website, we are not going to be offering services. We want to go ahead and delete this section. So all you have to do is hover over this section right here. And then at the top, we have this pink tab. Click on this X button right here, and that is going to delete that section. It will then bring this section up, so it now goes from our stock to this section right here that is a why choose us, kind of giving a bit more information about the company. So in here, we will leave this as why choose us. We don't need to change this, but we do want to change this gold text right here. So click on this gold text and that will now be highlighted. And then over on the left-hand side, we can go ahead and change this text. So I'm actually going to delete all of this right here. And then I'm going to change this to say unmatched quality, transparency, and customer-centric excellence. Once again, feel free to just swipe this, add this to your website, or you can create your own one sentence for why people should choose your company. Then we have this text underneath, and I don't really like this section. You can absolutely feel free, if you like this, to just go ahead and type something in here. However, I do not really like this, and I think the website looks better without this text right here. So all we are going to do is click on this text, and then over on the right-hand side in the navigator, it should automatically highlight this text editor section. So we just want to hover over this, right-click, and then click on delete, and that will delete this text right there. Once that text is deleted, what you will notice has happened is this has left a big gap right here between this text and this text. Now, we don't want this. So what we want to do is minimize this gap. Effectively, it has something called padding right here, which just adds white space between. So to delete this padding, we want to click into this first gold text right here. And then on the left-hand side, go over to advanced, and we can see it has some padding right here. So right here, the bottom has 35 padding. We want to turn this all the way down to 0. Once you have turned that down to 0, we also want to remove some of the padding that is with these numbers. Now, if you just try to click into one of these numbers, it is going to give us some padding right here. It's going to show us that there is some padding. However, this is not what we want to change. We want to leave this as this is. Instead, we want to change the padding for this entire section. So just go to the right-hand side and once again click through all of these containers until we have all of these numbers that are highlighted by this grey box right here. Once you see this grey box and this is now highlighted, we then want to go over to advanced once again, and you should see padding right here is 125. So we want to turn this all the way down to probably around 50. Let's have a look at how that looks. Maybe a little bit less, let's go 30. Perfect. So that looks a lot better. We still do have a bit of white space, but we want that. We don't want to delete all of this. That looks a lot better. Then for 1, we want to click into the text underneath 1. We want to leave all of these numbers as they are. But the text underneath, right now this says professional car driver. So let's click on this. On the left-hand side, delete where it says professional car driver. And in here, I'm going to say great value, high quality cars, just like that. Then for 2, we can click into this text underneath 2. Once again, on this left-hand side, delete everything in here. And in here, I will say free delivery and 14 days to love it. Just like that. Once again, you might not want to copy exactly what I am putting here. This is just an example, but give people 4 reasons of why they would want to choose your company. We can then select the text under 3, and go to the title, delete this. I'll say drive your dream car at one of our branches, just like that. And then for number 4, we will once again click into the text, go to the title section on this left hand side, delete, and then so over 10,000 happy customers. Just like that. Okay, perfect. So this section is now done. What you can also do is if you want to change this image on the left hand side, once again, click into the left hand side of this image rather than the right hand side, and you will be able to go ahead, choose the image. Once again, if you do this, if you do decide to upload an image here, we will once again click into choose image. Make sure it is this exact size, so 671 by 1080 pixels. So that's 671 wide by 1080 tall. So just go ahead and do that in Canva if you do want to go ahead and make that change. But this is a car, somebody driving a car, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. And then we can scroll down to this next testimonial section. We are going to leave this section as a testimonial. So in this top section, we can leave this as testimonials. We have some like arrow right here. I don't like this. So we can click into this arrow, and then on the right hand side, we can see the icon is selected. So all we have to do is right click and then delete this, and that arrow will be gone. Next, we want to go in and actually change these testimonials. So we can click into this first one right here. And then once you have clicked into that text, once again, we can go ahead on this left-hand side and we can make changes to what this says. So I'm going to click in and delete this. And then for this first one, I can just enter in this testimonial right here. You can get these testimonials from either your current clients. If you have any, just ask them for a testimonial. Or if you have like Facebook comments, you could get them from there. If you have Trustpilot or maybe Google reviews, you can get them from there as well. So that's the first one. Then in this second one, you will notice we have 2 different text boxes right here. Once again, I don't really like this, as it means that this testimonial, this name and photo, is further down the page. I don't like this, so what I always do is click into this text box right here, and then on the right hand side, we can see the text editor, the exact box that this is. So we can right click and delete this, and that already looks a lot better. Once again, I'm going to click into this text in the middle, and then over on this left hand side, we can highlight and delete this, and then go ahead and enter in another testimonial. So right here, we have a second testimonial, and then for the third one, we can once again click into this text, go to the left hand side and delete the text that is here, and then go through and type out the third testimonial. So I now have all of the testimonials added to this section. What we can also do is underneath, we can see a picture and also a name. So for the name, we can click into the text, and then on the left hand side, we can see this opens with the name. So maybe I want to change this to, let's say Frank George, I don't know, just a random name there, Frank George. And then we also have this image that we can click into. This image will then open up, and we can once again go ahead and choose this image. I'm just going to leave this as it is though, all of these. What you can also do is change the star rating. So right now, all of these are 4.5. If we click into the stars right here, over on the left hand side, we can go ahead and make changes. So the rating right now is 4.5. If we change this to 5, you can see all of these stars are going to be filled out. And then we can also change the title right here. This still says 4.5. We can change this to 5. And just like that, we have a 5-star rating right there. I will leave the other two as maybe 4.5. And then let's change this one to 4.7, 4.7, just like that. And that is how we can edit and change this entire testimonial section. So that section is now also completed. We want to go down and click on update to make sure that this is all updated and everything looks good. And then we can scroll down, and this is the final section that we are going to be creating and adding to this homepage. So right now, this big gold text says taking you anywhere you can imagine. Once again, that doesn't really have anything to do with the car dealership that we are building this website for. So we are just going to click into this big gold section. And then over on the left-hand side, we can change the text in here. So let's delete this. And I'm going to say, see a car you love or want to book in a test drive for this top section right here. And then we want to edit this white text underneath. So once again, just click on that white text. And then we can change this on the left-hand side. So right now it says, see a car you love or want to book in a test drive. We're available between 9 AM to 5 PM Monday to Friday. Once again, you can copy this or you can change this to be whatever you like. Then we have this button that says rent online. This is not a feature that I want to have available on my website. So I'm going to click in here, and instead of saying rent online, we can go to this left-hand side and I want to say email us. So email us. And then we want to have it so that when people click on this button right here, they can send an email. So the way that we can do this is over on this left-hand side, you should see this link section. And underneath, it has this box where we can enter in a link. Instead of that, we want to create this so people can click this button and it takes them straight to an email tab where they can go ahead and email your company. So in this link section, just delete the hashtag that is there and type in mail to. So just like this, mail to, then a colon, and then type in your email address. So this is mail to colon, and then I will say riley@gforcenorth.com. And then once you have this in there, mail to, and then your email, let's go ahead and click update and test this out. So if we now go all the way to the bottom of the site to this email us button and click on email, you can see this is going to open up this email box right here where people can go through and type out an email. And this is to the email that we entered in there. So that now works. Awesome. Let's go ahead and close out of this and go back into the editor. So this says email us, and we now have an email button that works. Or give us a call, and then you can just delete this text right here. So click on the number, and then on this left-hand side, just go ahead and enter in your company's number that people can contact you on if they are interested. Once all of that is done, make sure to click on update, save all of the changes to this website. What you will notice as well is at the bottom here, we have this is called a footer. So in the current editor that we are in, if you go ahead and try to change any of this, it just won't work. Instead, as I say, this is called the footer, and this is one of the last things that we will be changing on the website, as this is the same on all pages. So we are right now on the home page. If you go to the stock page, this footer is going to be there. And as I say, we will make changes to the header and footer at the end of the video. So for right now, we have this entire homepage designed, and all we have to do is create some brands, just link up this button, which we will be doing later on. For now, click on this eye icon to preview changes, and this is going to take us over to the main website right here. The next thing that we are going to do is we will add in all of the different brands that we will be selling on our website so that they will show up right here. So to do this, we want to exit out of the WordPress editor by clicking on this button right here. And this is going to take us back over to the main WordPress dashboard. To add in the different brands that we will be selling on the website, we want to go to this big menu on the left-hand side and hover over this listings option right here. Once you hover over listings, you can see it's going to open up the listings menu. So from here, click into categories. This will take us to the categories section, and in the categories, this is where we are going to create all of the different car brands that we will be selling on the website. So let's start out with Audi. In the name right here, we will call this Audi. Then the slug. This is essentially what it will say in the URL of your website. So this is Audi. So essentially, when people are on the Audi section, we want this to say yourdomain.com/ and then Audi right here. So in here, in the slug, just type in Audi or whichever car brand you are creating. And you just need to make sure that this has no capital letters and no special characters or spaces. So this one is Audi. Then we can go down. For the image, you want to add in an image of the car logo. So you can either go for two options here and just upload the car logo, or you can take images of the car logos from the cars in your dealership. But right here, I'm going to go select image, upload file, and then upload an image of the Audi badge. So let's go into here. So just like that, I can drop in the Audi badge, select image, and we now have this category is called Audi. The slug is Audi. And then we also have the image right here. Once you have created the category for the brand, we can then click on add category. And as you can see, Audi is now one of our categories. So that is the first category that we are going to create. And then you just want to go through and add all of the different car brands that you will be selling on your website. So in here, I can go for BMW, then slug, I will put BMW, but all lowercase. Then for the image, we can delete the Audi one, click on select image, and in here, I want to open up the BMW badge. Now, another thing that I want to mention here, and this is also super important, I should have mentioned this earlier, but when we create the images for the brands, we want to make sure that once again, these are all the same size. So let's go ahead and I will show you how we can size these. Once again, we want to open up Canva, click into create a design up here, and then once again, go into custom size from this menu. We want to set the width to 500 and the height to 500 as well. Then we can click on create new design. And this is going to take us over to a blank template. From here, you want to go to uploads and upload an image of all of the car brands that you want to add. So I will go in and add all of the brands that I have. As you can see, all of the logos are now going to load in. And then all we are going to do is click on one of these logos and resize this to about half the size of this. We don't want to make it the full size because then what happens is it just looks skewed and it doesn't look right. So make sure we have Tesla here. That is about half the size. So then we can go up, download, and download this element right here. Then what I personally do to make sure that all of the badges are the same size is I will leave like the Tesla badge here, for example. And then if I want to next go for Porsche, for example, I will use the Tesla or the original logo that I just got as like a template for how big this one should be. So I'll kind of like measure up like that. It doesn't have to be exact, but as long as the size is about the same, we can then go and delete the Tesla logo, drag that back in, make sure this is all in the middle. And then we can go ahead and save this one as well. Go ahead and download this and then do the same with all of these other logos using the previous one that we just used as kind of like the template, the size that we need, just like that. So that is how you can create all of the different logos, make sure they are the right size. And then as I say, we just come in here and create all of these different categories. So I would go for Ferrari, slug, Ferrari, and then change the image to the Ferrari image right here, and then select, add category. And you want to add all of the different categories that you will be selling on your website. I also want to show you this as an example so we can see Aston Martin. This has a space in between. So for the slug, I would just go Aston Martin like that, all one word with no lowercase. So as I say, I will just go through. fill in the rest of the brands that I will add here, and then I will be back once that is done. Now, the final thing that we need to do in this brand and category section is actually create a parent category to put all of these different brands in. The reason that we do this is so that the brands actually show up on the website. If I just show you how this looks now, so I can view the website by clicking on this button up here. And then if I go down, you can see right now, only 4 of the brands are going to show up. So if we go back, instead, what we want to do is go to categories once again. So in the category section right here, we actually need to create what is called a parent category. So once all of your brands have been added in here, create a new category called brand or brands. And then we'll say brands once again for the slug. And we don't need to add an image here. So don't add image. And then what we need to do is turn on display subcategories instead of listings. Once all of these settings are on like this, click on add category. And then you can see this category will show up at the top. From here, we then want to click into each individual brand. So we go Aston Martin, then parent category, click on this drop down menu, and we want to change this to the brand category that we just created. Then we can click on update, go back to categories, and as you can see, Aston Martin is now in the brand category, and we can see this because of this little dash before Aston Martin. So let's go ahead and do this with all of the other ones. Brands, update, then categories, Bentley, brands, update, go back to categories, BMW, brands, update. And I'm just going to go through this and I will speed up this video while I go ahead and fill in the rest of these. So once you have added all of these different categories, or brands I should say, to this parent category brands, it should show up like this, where all of the brands now have this dash next to them. Once you have this set up, we can now go back over to the website. So click on the title of your website up here. And if we go down, it should now show up like this, where we have a blank image here and it says 0 listings. So all we need to do is click edit with Elementor. Then this is going to take us back to the main Elementor editor. And then all we are going to do is scroll down, click into the section right here. So just click on this blank image. And then under parent category right here, just go ahead, click on this drop down menu and click into brands. All of the brands should show up right here. Now BMW, the image is way off, so we will go back and change that in a minute. But we can see all of the brands are going to show up right here. On the left hand side, you can change this number up and down. If I change this to 2, for example, we can see only 2 brands are going to show up. If I change this to 10, it's going to show all of the brands that I have on my website. So make sure this number is the amount of brands that you want to show. Then we can click on update. And then all I'm going to do now is just go back and change this BMW size. So to do this, I'm just going to open a new tab and then go back to the main WordPress dashboard. Then I can hover over listings, go back into the category section, and it's BMW that I want to change. So I can click BMW, delete this image, and then I need to make sure that I have one that is the right size according to Canva. So I will go in here, grab the BMW logo, and make sure this is the same size right here. And then I'm just going to delete the Porsche logo in the back, make sure this is in the center, and then go ahead and download this. I can then upload the new image that I just created, click on update, and now let me close all of these tabs down. This is pretty confusing. Hit refresh on Elementor, and the BMW logo should now be much better there. As you can see, all of these logos are now the same size, and we have this brand section set up. Now, if we actually view this on the website, so if we click preview changes, all of these brands are going to show up right here. And then if I click into Bentley, for example, we can see this is going to take me over to the Bentley area and show me all of the listings that are Bentleys. Now, of course, nothing is going to show up right now as we have not yet added in any cars. We haven't made any listings, but this is just how this brand category works. So that is all in right now. And the next thing that we are going to do is before we add listings, we actually want to go ahead and add in the different attributes that we can have for these listings. We need to create attributes for price, for mileage, for the color, for the doors, everything like that, so that we can actually go ahead and display all of this on the different listings. So to do this, once again, let's open a new tab and go back to the WordPress dashboard. And from here, we once again want to go over to this menu on the left-hand side, hover over listings, and this time, instead of going to categories, we want to go into attributes. This is going to load up the attributes area, and this is where we are going to create attributes for, as I said, the pricing, the mileage, the transmission, the fuel type, all of the information that we want to display on our car listings. So the first thing that we are going to do is once you are in this attribute section, click on add new up here at the top. And then for the title, we can call this price. Then under editable, we do not want to allow front end editing. The field name for price, we will have as price, all lowercase. Once again, in this field section, we can't have any capital letters or any spaces, anything like that. So we have price. Then field type for price, we want to go ahead and have as number. So set this to number. And then for all of these down here, the rest of these fields under editing, leave all of these as they are. Then under search, we want to go for filterable, display in the filter form on, include in keyword search on, display as sorting option on. Price and mileage are the only ones that we are going to display as sorting option. And then we can go down to field type, and for price, we are going to have this as a number range. Then for decimals, minimum value and maximum value, we will leave these as they are. Now under areas, this allows us to choose where we want to show price and all of these different attributes on the website. So for now, we will leave this blank. We will come back and edit this later, but I want to show you exactly what this field does so that you can have more customization of your website. Under icon, price is the only thing that we are going to have an icon for right here. So we want to click on this drop-down menu and then in here set this to $. So we can go for $sign right here. And then under format, right now, this is just going to show the value. We want to show this icon, and we also want to show the label of price. So what we have to do is go to this format option right here and type in the percentage sign, then label, another percentage sign, space, percentage, icon, percentage, value. So it should look like this. Label in between two percentage signs, then a space, then icon in between two percentage signs, then a space, and then value right here. Then we can go up and click on publish, and we have just created the price attribute. So if we now go back to attributes on this left-hand side, you can see the price attribute has now been created. The next thing that we are going to create is a mileage attribute to show how many miles are on the car. So once again, we click on add new at the top. Under title, we can call this mileage. So mileage. Once again, we don't want to allow front end editing. For the field name, we will call this mileage all lowercase. Then under field type, we want to have this as a number. So we can scroll down to number right here. Once again, leave all of these new panels that just opened up under editing. Leave all of these blank. Then for search, we want to check this top option. Check include in keyword search. Check display as sorting option. And then once again, for the field type, we want to click this and scroll down to number range. Once we have all of this set, we want to leave the rest blank. And then we can go down. This time we want to leave, once again, areas and icon blank. And then for format, we don't want to show an icon here. So instead, we just put %, label, %, space. So label and value for this. And then what I would recommend doing is just highlighting and copying this text right here. The reason that we do this is because we are going to be using label and value for all of the other attributes that we create. So it just makes it easier, rather than typing in % label %, to just copy and paste this. So we can now go up, click on publish. And if we now go back over to the attribute section, you can see we have price and mileage. Next, we will create fuel type so that we can say if this is a petrol, if this is a diesel or electric. So once again, we can click on add new. Then we will call this fuel type. Allow front-end editing. We will not have this on. Field name, fuel type, all lowercase. Then field type for this, instead of going number this time, we will set this to text, so that we can type out if this is petrol, diesel, or electric. Once again, we leave all of these blank. Under search, filterable, display in the filter form, include in keyword search. However, this time we are not going to display this as a sorting option. For field type, click on this drop-down menu and change this to checkboxes. This is essentially going to have on the website, it will have like diesel, petrol, and then electric. And then people will be able to come along and just click the checkbox for the type of car that they want, if they want to filter by that. Then we can go down. Then in display, areas we leave blank, icon we leave blank, delete the format, and then paste in what we copied last time. Then we can go up, click on publish, then go back. Once that is in there, we can go back to attributes, and we now have price, mileage, and fuel type. Next, we will add transmission. So once again, add new. In this top search bar, transmission, and then, oh, whoopsie, allow front-end editing off, field name, transmission, field type. For the transmission, we will set this to text. Then we can leave all of this blank. Filterable on, indexable on, sortable off. Field type is going to be, once again, checkboxes. And then for options, we actually need to check this. I don't think we did with the last one, so we can go back. But for now, we want to check search any of the selected options, and then format, delete, and paste in what we copied. Let's now go up and click on publish. Make sure that is saved. So now if we go back to attributes, under fuel type, let's click into this. Make sure this is checked, search any of the selected options, and then update. Now let's go back. So we have price, mileage, fuel type, transmission. Let's go for color next. So add new, color, field name, color, field type. We will set this to text. Then leave all of these blank once again. Filterable on, indexable on, sortable off. Field type is going to be checkboxes, and then search any of the selected options on. Then we want to go down to the bottom here, under format, paste in what we copied earlier, and publish. So that's color. Let's go back to attributes. We have price, mileage, fuel type, transmission, color. We also want to add in potentially condition. So let's add new. This is only going to be if you are selling new and used cars. If you are only selling new cars, then you don't have to add this attribute. If you are also only selling used cars, then you also don't have to add this attribute. Because on this website, I will be listing new and used cars, this is an attribute that we need to add. So condition, allow front-end editing off. Condition, field type is going to be text. Then we can go down. Filterable on, indexable on, display as sorting option off. Field type will once again be checkbox, yep. Search any of the selected options on. And then at the bottom here in format, paste in label and value, and then we can publish this. The next attribute that we will add is going to be the registration year. So for the title, we will call this registration year. Then for field name, registration year, just like that. Field type. So this is interesting. You would think that this would be a number, right? Registration year would of course be a number. That's not true, because if we set this to number, on your website, the year of the car will be set like this. If it's 2024, it will look like this, like 2024. So instead, we actually want to change this to text. And then this way, it will show up like this. And people will also still be able to search for the year using like a number slider. So right here, we set this to text. However, when we go down, we want to go search, filterable, indexable on, field type, number range. So this is the only one that we mix and match, where we have text, but we also have number range. And then we can go down, just paste in this, publish. And then the final thing that we are going to add here is going to be engine size. So let's go add new, and then we'll call this engine size, just like that. Field type will be text. The reason that we have text here, by the way, instead of a number for the engine size is because we want like 1.6L. If we select number here, it will just be 1.6, but we want it text for 1.6L. When we do this, it makes no difference and people will still be able to search by the engine size. Then we can go filterable on, indexable on. Field type, we will set to checkboxes and then search any of the selected options. Then for format, delete and paste in what we had earlier, and then publish. Now, if you want to add in any attributes that you don't see right here, for example, if you have another piece of information you want to add, then all you have to do is once again click add new, enter in the title, the field name, whether it is going to be a number or text, then these two on, leave this off. Field type is checkboxes if it is text, or number range if it is a number. And then we can turn the icon off, and then in format, you just paste in what we already have, just like that, and then click on publish. Pretty simple to go ahead and do that. But once you have all of these attributes created, we can now go ahead and create listings for your website. Now, if for some reason you don't have any listings that you want to create yet, then what I recommend doing is creating some listings anyway, just some example listings, get the images off Google, create some example listings, because you want to make sure this is working, you want to make sure you have the website in order and everything is good to go. So this is also how you will create listings in the future, like when you are actually using this website day to day and you want to add a new listing, this is how you will do it. So what we will actually do is start from a new tab so I can show you exactly how you can add new car listings to your website at any time. So open up a new tab, then go to the WordPress dashboard. Once the dashboard loads up, we then want to go to listings on this left-hand side and click into the listings option right here. Under listings, this is going to show you all of the different car listings that you created, all of the different cars that are listed on your website. They will show up right here. Now to go ahead and create a new listing, just click on add new at the top right here, and this is going to take us through to the listing area. So we can add a title for this car. This is where you can add your description. And then down here, we have all of the attributes that we just created. We have price, mileage, fuel type, transmission, color, condition, engine size, and registration year. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new listing here. Let's go for a 2024 Mercedes-Benz G63. Let's do a G-Wagon. So you enter the year and the name of the car in here. And then we can add a description for the car in this section. So just go ahead and type that in right there. And then we can scroll down and set the price. By the way, these settings right here, where it says vendor verified features, leave all of these as they are. The vendor, we are not going to show on the website. So just, as I said, leave these as they are. The same for these custom fields. We don't need to touch any of these. Just set the title, type out the description for the car, and then scroll all the way down to attributes, and we can plug the attribute in right here. So for the price, we can say, let's say 120,000 for this car. Mileage, 64. Fuel type, we will say petrol. Then transmission, automatic. Then the color. So the one that I am creating here is black. We'll go for black. Condition is, of course, new with 64 miles. Engine size, 4.0L. And then registration year is 2024. Once all of that is added, we can add the images in right here. Sometimes your image section will be like here. Sometimes it will be underneath. But just go ahead wherever this is in the image section. Click select images. And then you can upload the images that you want to add. So the G-Wagon right here, add the images. And then right here, we can see this is the first image that shows up by default. Now, I don't want the inside of this car to show up by default when people are looking. So we can drag and drop these images around by simply clicking and dragging. So once that is set up, we can then go up. Under categories, super important, make sure to list this as the right category. So this is a Mercedes-Benz. We will add this to the Mercedes-Benz category and then publish. And just like that, this car is now going to be published. Now it will give you a link right here. You can click on this and see how this looks. However, because we have not fully set everything up on the back end, you can see none of the attributes are going to be listed. This is the complete wrong color. So when you click on this and you see that it looks terrible right now, don't worry, we are going to go through and change this. But most importantly right now, just go through and make like 5 or 6 listings on your website so that we can actually see how this looks. So I'm going to go ahead and create probably 4 more listings, and I will be back once I have done that. Once you have created some default and just some filler listings right here that we are going to be using just to see how the website looks, the next thing that we are going to do is create our listings page and also have it so that when we click into each of these car listings, we can see the information right here. So to do this, just come over to this WordPress menu on the left-hand side, click into Wordpress right here, and at the top, it's going to ask for a listings page. If we click into this drop-down menu, it's going to give us a lot of different options for all of the pages that we currently have. However, we are not going to be using any of these, and instead, we want to go ahead and create a brand new listings page. So to do this, first of all, we want to hover over pages on this left-hand side and then click into add new page. Now this is super simple. We don't actually have to design the page. This is all going to be done for us by Wordpress. So for now, all we have to do is type in stock in this bar at the top, then click on publish in this top right corner and click on publish once again. Once that page is published, it should say stock is now live, and we can then click on the WordPress button in this top left corner. This is going to take us over to the pages area where we can see all of the pages that we currently have on the website. And right at the bottom here, you should see stock. So now we have that stock page. All we have to do is go back into Wordpress. So click in Wordpress, then the listings page. We click this drop down menu and then select the stock page that we just created. Then listings display page, leave this unchecked. Regular listings per page. I personally prefer to have my website so that there's not a bunch of pages people have to click between and it's one constant scroll. To future-proof this and basically make it so that no matter how many listings you have, you don't have to come back in and change this, I just like to go ahead and set this to 1000 listings per page. Then featured listings per page, we will set this to 0, and related also set this to 0. Then we can scroll down. Under images, we want to enable image zoom. Allow uploading videos, we will leave off. And then under search, we want the default field to be keywords and categories. So click into that and select categories. So this now says keywords and categories. Then down here under submission, uncheck all of these boxes right here, and then click on save changes. Once those changes have been saved, we then want to go up to vendors right here. Under display, uncheck this and then save. And then under users, we want to go for registration, off, and then save changes. Once all of that is done, let's actually go over to the stock page that we just created and have a look at how this is going to look. So we want to go to pages and then all pages, then go down to the stock page, hover over this and click on view right here. And this is going to take us over to the page that shows us all of the cars that we currently have listed. So with this Audi, I'm noticing straight away that we have a picture of the interior. All this means is I need to rearrange the image. But as you can see, we now have all of these different categories that we can filter by. We have price, mileage, fuel type, transmission. Some of these aren't working yet, and they will in a second. We just need to fully set them up. And then we also have the registration year. Once again, we still cannot see any of the information about any of these cars yet. And this is why I wanted to wait to set up the area so I can show you exactly how this works. So just back out to make sure you are on this page right here. And then we can leave this page open and open up a new tab. In this new tab, let's go back to the WordPress dashboard using this bookmark. Once you are on the WordPress dashboard, hover over listings and then go into attributes right here. Now this is where we can set the areas up and we can see where we want to see all of this information. So let's do pricing first. Let's go into price and then scroll down to areas. If we click into this, you can see we have 4 different options. We have block primary, block secondary, page primary, and page secondary. Now for all of these, we want to select page primary and page secondary. However, the block area is going to dictate what information is shown in this area. So what I always like to do with price is I like to have price as block primary, and then it shows up the price nice and big right here. So it's one of the main things. This is the only thing we will have in primary. So in price, the area is block primary, page primary, and page secondary. And if we now click on update, let's go ahead and refresh this page. And you can see price is going to show up in all of these areas right here. If we click into any of these cars, you can see the price is going to show up here. And then it's also going to show up down here. So this is the page primary. That's the option for page primary. This is page secondary right here. And then if we go back, this is block primary. Now let's actually go ahead and set up mileage now. So go back to attributes, then into mileage. We will once again go to the bottom here. And let's select this as block secondary. Now I will just save this. We also do want to put these on the page, but just to show you how secondary looks, if I now go ahead and refresh this, we can see this is going to show up in smaller text. I will delete this and add this as primary just to show you what this looks like. Block primary, update. And as you can see, it shows up right there. As I said, I prefer to put the price as primary and then the mileage, transmission, and fuel type as secondary, but it is completely up to you. I'm going to go through and fill these in as I see best. So for the mileage, I like to set this as block secondary, page primary, page secondary, and then save. Then registration year. As this is already showing up, I already entered this in the title. So I don't like to put this in the block. I don't like it to show up right here. So all I'm going to do is go for page primary and page secondary, and then update. Engine size. Once again, I don't like to show it in the block, so I'm going to go for just page primary and page secondary. Update. Condition. I actually do like to show this in secondary, so we can go down to areas, block secondary, page primary, page secondary, update. Then color. There's no reason to show this on the block, so I will go page primary, page secondary. Transmission. I do want to show this in the block. I want this to show up right here. However, we obviously don't want this primary. So in here, we can go for block secondary, page primary, page secondary. Update this right here. Fuel type. Once again, we will go block secondary, page primary, page secondary, and save this. Mileage and price have already been set in. So let's now go hit refresh, and we can see all of the information is now going to show up in this car. So in here, we have all of the block secondary. Price is obviously block primary. And then if we click in, we can see all of the information in this page primary section, as well as the page secondary down here. So the only change that I'm going to make is just go into this Audi, and so I go listings, Audi A5, and just change these images around. They don't want to change for some reason. Just like that. And then update. Now if I refresh this, you can see all of the cars are going to show up right here. Now don't worry about this background not being congruent with the rest of the website. We are going to make this black. We are going to make this all look beautiful. But right now, we will leave this as it is. One thing I am noticing is this isn't allowing people to search by like fuel type, transmission. So let's go in and troubleshoot this. And I think the issue here is with the checkboxes. So instead, what we are going to do is just go into all of the ones that we had as a checkbox. The ones aren't showing up here, so fuel type. We can go into fuel type. And then we are going to change this from checkbox to text. Then hit save. Let's see if that made a change. Yes, and now people can search by fuel type. So in here, let's test this out. If I type petrol and then filter, you can see this is only going to show up the petrol cars. So this is all working. So effectively, all we want to do is just go back and make the changes to those attributes. So transmission, let's go into transmission, change this from checkbox to text, and then update. Color, condition, and engine size. So we go color, text, update, condition, text, update, and then engine size. Is that the right one? Yeah, engine size, text, and update. And then if we refresh, there we go. So this is all now working. And we can really mix and match these. So if I type in the color, green, and then filter, you can see it's only going to filter by cars that are green and have the fuel type petrol. So awesome, that is all working right there. Let's also do a test. Let's refresh this. So get rid of these two filters. Let's try this with the mileage. So let's bring the mileage down to anything under 10,000 miles. Filter. And there we go. We only have cars now that have under 10,000 miles. So this is all working. And we now have the listings page. All of the cars have all of the information. We have the title. Awesome. One other thing that we might want to take away is right here where it says added on, and then it has this specific date. I don't know why this is added. It's really annoying. So let's go ahead and take this away. So to do this, all we need to do is make sure you are on this listing page right here. Then click on this customize button up here at the top. And then from this menu that opens up, click into additional CSS and then paste in this code. Now this code I will leave down in the description. I will clearly title it so that you can see exactly what this is. Just paste that, copy it in, and I'll just show you. So We can see January 2024 right here. As soon as I paste that code in, it's going to disappear. Once you have done that, click on publish, then we can exit out of this. Now, the next thing that we are going to do is actually change the background of all of this right here. Right now it's white, and it's just not very congruent with the rest of the website when the rest of the website is black. And then all we are going to do is once again click on this customize button. This is going to take us over to the customization area, and we want to go ahead and change this background. So to do this, click into global right here on the left hand side, then go into colors, the second option down. And you can see we have style 1, style 2, and style 3. Style 1 is the main color of the website. However, we don't want to mess with this, as if we start playing around with style 1, it's going to change the main colors on this homepage right here. Now, we don't want that, so let me go back into customize here, global colors. We want to do style 2. However, what we need to do first of all is take some of the colors from style 1 and blend these into style 2. So all we are going to do is go to style 1, grab color 1 right here, then we can grab this, copy, then go to style 2 and paste this into color 1. Then we go back, grab color 2, style 2, paste this in, and effectively before we go ahead and make changes, we want to make sure that style 2 is the same as style 1, and then we can change the colors only that we need. So we can grab this, color 3, grab this, color 4, grab this, color 5, color 6, color 7. So this one will be pretty interesting. I will show you how to do this. We need to paste this in, and then it's already done for us. It doesn't matter. That was easier said than done. Then we can paste this in, and then paste this in as well. So now we have style 1 and style 2 the same. We want to select style 2, and in here we are going to change the background color. So the background color is going to be color 5 right here. So we grab this, and then we want to change this to black. So drag this all the way into the bottom corner, and that is going to change this to black. We then want to change this text from being this black color to being the same gold as the rest of the website. The text is going to be color 3. So select color 3, and then grab the gold from this eyedropper tool, and then paste it in right here. That's going to change this. We also want to change this text underneath. We will actually have this as white instead of gold. So go to color 4, and then we can make this white. And this pretty much looks how we want it to look. This is now a lot more congruent with the rest of the website. So we can be happy with this. Click on publish, and then exit out of this right here. So this is now the car listings page that we have. You can see we have all of the car listings right here, and then the search filters for people to search by exactly what car they want. So from here, just go to this top search bar. It should say yourdomain.com/stock, and copy this text right here. Then we want to exit back out. So click on this WordPress button right here, and then go back to the main homepage of the website by clicking on your site title in the top left corner. This is going to take us back over to the main homepage. So from here, click into Edit with Elementor. And then if we scroll down when this Elementor editor loads up, we want to go here to this section that says Search Stock. So where it says Search Stock right here, click on this button, and then paste in the title that we just copied. So yourdomain.com/stock, paste that in there. And then what we are also going to do is, it looks like when we just made that change, it changed the color of this text. So just click on this text, make sure this section is highlighted. Then we can go to style, text color, and change this to white. Let's just see if anything else changed on the website. This also changed. So let's click on this, style, then make this white. And then the rest of the website looks all good to go. So let's click on update, then click on this eye icon. And right now, this entire homepage is done. You can see under shop by brand, we have all of the different car brands right here. And underneath it says the amount of listings. We can also get rid of this by going to customize right here. Then once again, going to additional CSS. And if we go down and paste in this code, you can see they are going to disappear. Now the first code that we entered in here and the second code that we just entered, these are different pieces of code. I will leave them both in the description with clear titles above for what they do. So from here, we can click on publish, then exit out of this. And as I said, the homepage is now finished. So people can come down here. If they want to shop into Audi, they can click into Audi. And this is going to take them over to the Audi section where it's only going to show them Audis. If they want to go into Mercedes, they can click in here and it's only going to show them the Mercedes. So the homepage is now finished. At the top here, you will notice because we changed the text color, this is now pretty not very readable. We are going to change this once again at the end when we go ahead and create the header. So don't worry about this for now. But if we hover over, we can see we have home, about us, services, our fleet, and then contact. So the next page that we are going to edit is this about us page. So just go to this header and then click on about us. And this is going to take us over to the about us page. From here, go to the top and click edit with Elementor. And we are going to make our changes to this about us page. So in here, we will be taken through to the Elementor editor once again. And we can just click into this text and make changes. So I like this where it says about us. I see no reason to change this. So we can click into the white text. And then on this left-hand side, let's go ahead and edit this. And I'm just going to say East, the best rated car dealer in the Northeast. And then once again, we have an image of a limousine right here. Now, I don't want this. So instead, what we are going to do is close all of these containers down. Select the top container. And then once this top container is outlined with this pink box, go over to this left-hand side, click into style right here, and we can see the image is going to show up. So once again, we can click choose image and then choose the image we want to drop in here. I'm just going to go for this one, select. And just like that, that image is going to drop in. Then we can scroll down to this next section. This says about us. So all we are going to do is click into this gold text right here. We can leave this about us in white. And I'm just going to say a premium experience every time, just like that. Then with this text, you can see we have two different text boxes. So I will always go and click into this second one, go to the text editor that is now highlighted, right click and delete this, and then click into this main text right here. And then we can go ahead and enter something about us, like a short about us section right here. Once that has been entered, we of course want to go over to style here at the top and change the text color to white. Then scrolling down, we have this second section right here. I don't really like this. I don't like big long about us pages. I think they need to be short and simple. So all we are going to do is close down these containers, make sure this container is selected. We have the right area inside of this pink box, and then right click and delete this container. Once again, we have another section here at the bottom. So we just go to container, this bottom container, and delete this. And right here, we have a nice simple about us page, which we can now click on update. Click on this eye icon to get back to the main website. And as you can see, this is now the about us page that we have. Remember, this is the footer. We are going to change this at the end as well. So don't worry about this for now. Now we also have services and our fleet. We are going to delete both of these pages and replace them with our stock page. So the only page that we have to worry about right now is this contact us page. So click on the contact page. And then once this page loads up, click into edit with Elementor. And then we can go through and start editing this. So contact, I'm going to leave this. This white text, I'm going to click into this and say, see something you like, give us a call. Just like that. We can then scroll down and we have this section right here with a contact us form. So the first thing that we are going to do is just go to this text, and in here I will say, not sure if it's the right car. Don't be shy. So I'll click into this second text and then edit this to say, don't be shy, book in a test drive to drop us a message and take it for a spin. So once that text is edited, we can now go down, leave this section that says get in touch. And then in here, we can maybe put directions on how to get to this place. I'm not going to, so I'm just going to highlight this box, go over to the text editor on the right hand side and delete this. And then in here, we can simply click into this box and on the left hand side, enter in your information. So you can enter your phone number into this box right here by clicking, editing this text. Then we can go into the email. So I could say like riley@gforcenorth.com. And then we can also add an address in right here. Once all of this has been added, we can leave messages and the contact us form, click on update. And just like that, we now have this contact page all complete. So let's click on this eye icon to preview changes. This has opened a lot of tabs, so let's close out of all of these. And we now have the home page. We have our about us page. We need to add in the stock page and delete these two pages right here. So to do this, just click into customize up here at the top. And then from this menu that opens up, go down to menus right here, click into menus. And then you can see we have this menu right here. We have footer services and menu. We want to click into menu. And then right here we have home, about us, services, our fleet, and contact. So find the services section, click into this, and then we can go down and click on remove. Our fleet, once again, click into here and remove. And then we want to add a new item. So click add items. And then once this page loads up, you should see stock right here. So click on stock and that will be added in. And then we want to reorder these. So click on this reorder button and then move the stock up. So the order of this should be home, stock, about us, and contact. Then we can click on done and publish. As you can see, this is now going to change. So we have the home page that we can click into and get to the home page, the stock page where we can get to the stock page, about us right here, and then we also have the contact page right here. So we now have the navigation menus all good to go. The only thing that we need to change now to finish off this website is editing this header right here. So we can add in a logo, change this phone number, and also change the footer right here. So first of all, let's do the header. Just back out so you are on this big menu. And then the first thing that we are going to do is add in a logo. So hover over the logo that is here that says limousine renting. And then we can click on this pencil icon. And right here on the left hand side, this is where we can go ahead and upload our new logo. Now, if you do not yet have a logo, I will show you exactly how to create one. So we just want to open up a new tab and go back over to Canva. Once you are on Canva, just click on create a design in this top right corner. And then in this search box at the top, search for logo. This will then bring up the logo option, so we can click into logo right here. And this is going to take us over to a blank template. Now, the awesome thing about Canva is they have a bunch of pre-built logo designs that we can use. So all you have to do is go over to design in the top left corner. Then under search logo templates, in this search box, search for car logo. And this is going to bring up a bunch of different car logos that we can choose from. So I'm just going to go through and choose one of these. And I quite like this one. So I'm going to select this logo, drop in the logo that you like, and then your logo is going to show up right here. What we can then do is simply click into the text and change this to your company name. So I will call this GeForce Cars. And then instead of car showroom, I will click into this and change this to say dealership. Just like that. And then I actually also want to change the color of this to fit the gold with the rest of the website. Now, the awesome thing is we have this eyedropper tool. So we can click on the eyedropper tool and then copy this. And then just click on the things that we want to change. So I want to change this. I can then go up to the border color, add a new color, and then paste this in. Then highlight the text, change the color of the text to this gold. And then also these stars right here, we can change to this gold. And then also, because the website is black, I feel like if I have this black right here, then it's going to clash with the rest of the site. So let's change this to white. Same with car dealership. Actually, there's too much, like it will just blend into the outside shell. So instead, I'm going to make this gold. And then let's make the whole thing gold. Why not? There we go. So we now have this logo. Took me about 2 minutes. Once you have your logo created, click on share in this top right corner. Then go down to download. And super important, make sure this is saved with a transparent background. Otherwise, we will see this big white background and we don't want that. Then click on download. Once that has finished downloading, we can then go over to the website. In the logo, under the logo section here, just click change image. And then we can go ahead and upload the logo that we just created. So I can... What is going on there? I'm not sure why it has these white streaks. Let me make the background black and see what's happening there. Okay, so we have these white bits for some reason. Let me just go ahead and delete these. Like, there's no reason to have them there. Get this one, delete, delete, and then put this back where this was. Perfect. Download. Once again, transparent background. And now we can go and upload this to the site. There we go. That looks a lot better. Choose image. And as you can see, I have my image up here. Now that looks way too big. So let's turn this down a little bit. There we go. 125. Then Retina logo. There's no reason to have this different for Retina devices. So I just turn this off. And we want to make sure this is on desktop and mobile. And then click on publish. Just like that, we now have this logo. Once you have done that and your logo is now added, we want to go ahead and make this menu a lot more visible. Now to do this, it's very easy. We just switch this from general over to design. And then down here, we can see the menu color. It says text and link. So just go ahead and change this from black to white right here. And as we can see, this menu is a lot more visible. If we go over to the stock page, you can see this is still visible as this is now gold. And that is exactly what we are looking for. So let's go ahead and click on publish. Make sure all of the changes are saved. Next, we just want to change the number in this button right here. So we hover over the button and click on this pencil icon just above. And then we can go ahead and enter your number in here. So change the text right here. And then once your number is entered, make sure that is saved. And that is the header now done. From here, we can then go down to the footer menu here at the bottom. Once you have done that, then go to the top left corner of this top section right here. Click on this pencil icon. And as you can see right now, it's like we have 3 different footer sections. So to get rid of these, just drag widget 1 onto the second line, widget 2 onto the second line, drag copyright up, and then social up as well. That's going to delete all of these and just give us this one section. Then for social, we don't really have a need for this, so we can delete this. And actually, let's delete everything in this section apart from copyright. So delete all of this, and then we can click on this line right here. And we just want to add in a footer menu. Then let's rearrange these, drag the footer menu in front. And just like that, we now have this footer menu. We have copyright right here. And then we can click on publish. And let's now back out and just add some finishing touches to the site. So we're just going to go through and see if there's anything that needs changing, any text that has changed color or anything like that. Like right here, give us a call. It's black, we can't really see this. So we can go into Elementor and then scroll down. Grab this and then text color. Change this to white. Update. Preview changes. Everything else looks good. So we go up to the stock page. Everything looks good on here. Let's run a test inside. Perfect. People can scroll through the images and they are all working. About us. We can see everything there. Contact. We can see everything there. And beautiful. So that is how you can create a car dealership website. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to smash that like button and tap that subscribe button. And until next time, take it easy.